Hello and welcome. My name is Dan Meyer. I'm editor-in-chief of RCR Wireless News. Thanks for joining us today. Today I'm joined by Russell Teague, who's the director of the Service Assurance Division at EXFO. Russell, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Great. Well, maybe I'll start off with, for those who perhaps don't know about your company, maybe just a little background on EXFO and what you guys do in the telecom space.
Sure. Expo was founded in 1985, so we're almost 30 years old now. And originally we were in the optical space, making optical power meters and other types of test equipment there. Over the years, we've expanded through acquisition or just organic growth into lots of different areas where now we do copper access instruments, Ethernet instruments, TDM instruments, wireless lab equipment, and of course what I am mostly interested in, which is service assurance. And so we cover really the breadth of product from the whole life cycle, really focusing on telecommunications and products for communication service providers, and specifically. We're about 1,800 people here, and we are global, so we have both development centers as well as salespeople all across the globe.
Great, great. Well, obviously, a big company has been in the space for quite some time, so obviously a lot of history and experience there. I know you guys had an announcement a few weeks ago on a new product called, I think it was the Extract product.
Right.
Can you, I guess, give us maybe a little insight into that product and kind of how it works and then who's kind of targeted at?
Sure, sure. So Extract comes from the acquisition of a company that we did recently called ByteSphere. And what it brings to the market is a really modernized, distributed, real-time analytics platform that provides both fault management, performance monitoring, and service management all within the same product. It's really focused on today's use cases, today's scalability requirements, and provides a lot of unique functions in that space.
Got it, got it. And obviously now our readers, a lot of our readers and viewers are from the wireless industry, so obviously this product is definitely geared towards that market too, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and it's very focused around efficiency and being able to be deployed in these newer environments that require a lot of flexibility with virtualization and scalability, or the new term they're calling is elasticity. We evolve these terms over time, and this product's very focused on being able to meet those requirements.
Yes, yes, it's definitely an industry that loves the new terms and new acronyms. So that's definitely a
For
good part there. Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess maybe touch a bit. I know obviously you're part of kind of the service assurance division there at Expo. It does seem like that's a segment of the market that is gaining a lot of traction. It seems like as operators are moving towards this new all IP world, obviously traffic across our networks is changing a lot, and being able to, I guess, monitor that or ensure service quality for customers and for enterprises has become a pretty big part of the market. I guess can you touch a bit about on how you guys focus on that part of the market, maybe any changes you've seen when it
Yeah.
comes to the service assurance?
Yeah, absolutely. There's really a big movement today with these converged IP, all IP networks, as well as virtualization. We're trying to get the absolute most we can, out of the deployments that we have, and both of those technologies provide a lot of efficiency, but they also provide a lot of complexity. So as everything goes IP, the complexity of the networks becomes really expounded. So, for instance, if you look at just a basic call flow from the old TDM days where you have a circuit switched call flow to today where you have VoLTE, just the call legs go from probably 10 to hundreds potentially when you have IMS involved. So it's really a factor of 10 or more in complexity. So what our operators need is something to really make that a lot more simple and to provide a complete picture of service quality in context with the network infrastructure that is really supporting it. And what we see is a lot of our operators are struggling where the network or a service tool can provide them insight into something is happening, and even may say what is happening, but the how and why and where are things that take days, if not weeks, to really resolve. So the Extract platform is built to be able to pull in all of the pertinent data that can really provide a complete picture to them, and it's very tightly integrated with our existing Bricks platform, which provides real-time end-to-end service quality assessment to really give them that holistic contextual picture of service quality.
Yeah, and it does seem like that the service assurance model now is really becoming a combination of big data, of analytics, of really measuring things, like you said, in real time. That seems like an important part of this now. And that seems kind of like you said, to be the big challenge is for operators to have the pieces in place to analyze all this information, and at some point, obviously, react to it too if they need to.
Absolutely, Dan. And one of the things that's exacerbating the problem, so to speak, is the move to virtualization now decouples a lot of the functions that operators have been used to dealing with more as a whole. So instead of just needing to know their service and how to support that, they need to become IT people as well all of a sudden, which is really creating a lot of worry within the operators that I've talked to. So, a lot of the senior managers that are dealing with these operations groups are extremely worried about a voice technician all of a sudden having to troubleshoot hard drive problems. So Extract offers the ability to really couple all that together, and even though those functions are really distributed in the network now and virtualized, it allows them to really link them together visually so that if there's, let's say that there's a hard disk failing and it's impacting the functions of a virtual MME that's running on that they'll be able to see that and say, okay, well, all of a sudden I can't have users connect to the network, and that's not because the MME software is buggy, it's because there's a hard drive that's failing. And those types of use cases are incredibly worrisome to our customers, and those are the ones that we're focused on addressing with this product.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously the virtualization is a big move across the industry. Does it seem like, from your point of view, that I guess the models that are in place for that, or that the support for that is it there? I mean, is there enough support there so carriers can be, I guess, confident in the reliability of the move to virtualization? Because obviously, again, it's this move is kind of taking some of the platforms that they're used to having maybe more in-house, kind of moving them either to a cloud environment or a virtualized environment. Is the platform there really ready to support what these carriers are looking to do for their networks?
In general, I would say it's how do you be nice? It's a work in progress. Okay?
Sure.
It's a work in progress, and I think everybody would recognize that across the industry that a full ecosystem is probably a couple of years away from being reality now. Obviously the promise of it, increased efficiency and flexibility, being able to bring new products to market very quickly, is very enticing to our operator customers, and they're going for it. With some leading more than others, but they're definitely all going to move that way. But to get there, the systems are anything but bulletproof. They're anything but integrated today. So having a very good way of testing, validating, and monitoring is obviously of paramount importance at this point.
Yeah, and obviously carriers too are going to be a little nervous because, again, they want to make sure that they've got continue to have their their legacy types of service assurance across their network. I mean, obviously they have enterprise customers who might have SLAs, and they've got regular consumers who have certain requirements when it comes to, or certain expectations when it comes to service assurance.
Of course.
And so that seems to be definitely a concern, to make sure that they're not taking a step back when it comes to the service quality across their networks.
Yeah, especially when you consider with VoLTE, happening kind of at the same time. There's a lot of good reasons to go to VoLTE, many good reasons. But when you make that switch, you're really moving into 30 years worth of revenue producing service into a completely new realm, and there's an incredible amount of risk there. And when you put that together with virtualization, which is again very risky, there's a lot of people that are pretty nervous about that.
Yeah, and I think the VoLTE topic is a great one because, again, legacy systems and carriers have kind of been used to the circuit switch model of voice, and that's it's done pretty well, and consumers are kind of used to how it works, and so there's a certain expectation there. both from a carrier and a consumer's point of view. And the move, yeah, to kind of making voice now a data session. While again it is probably a more efficient model to go with, there is that challenge. It does seem with making sure that that consumers are ready for that, and that the networks are ready for that move. That does seem to be obviously the video traffic and everything that's going on there. That's a huge issue too. But it seems like the biggest point for perhaps contention, or the biggest issue, could be with voice traffic, because again there are certain expectations for voice that if those aren't met, there'll be lots of calls into to the customer service centers to kind of ask what's happening there.
Absolutely. Consumers are used to dealing with not being able to get to Facebook every now and then. But when they need to make a phone call, they want to be able to make a phone call, and they're not nearly as forgiving.
Yeah, that's gonna be the tricky part of it there. So no, I guess when you look at kind of that move to VoLTE and the issues with service assurance there, I mean, how ready is the network, and how ready are carriers for that move? I mean, it does seem like VoLTE has definitely made some progress over the past 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Do you think the networks are ready for that move to kind of virtualize, or to VoLTE when it comes to voice traffic?
For VoLTE and virtualization, the time's not quite yet. But for VoLTE itself, I think the leading carriers out there, the Verizons, AT&Ts, Vodafones, Telefonicas of the world, they're very close. Some are close to others. I think full widespread commercialization is probably 6 months away for some of those still. But they have been launching and working, checking the final bugs out, I think. So we're close.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe looking forward a little bit. I mean, how do you see, kind of the service assurance market evolving over the next, 6, 12, 18 months? I mean, obviously, carriers are working on this stuff on a nonstop basis. You guys are helping them out as much as you can too. How do you see, I guess, the market, maybe the challenges that are kind of, I guess, come to the market evolve over the next short to midterm?
I think what you'll see is that a move to virtualization, a move to all IP, is really all about efficiency. And some of the service assurance methodologies in the past are not as efficient potentially as our customers might want them to be. So I think that you'll see a lot of customers out there really demanding more efficient methodologies for monitoring, and a system that can adapt on the fly in real time to the demands that might be put on it. So there's certain technologies we use out there, for fault, and like S&P polling and things like that are good for some things, not for others. We do passive analysis for some deep troubleshooting, and those systems in the past have been very stovepiped. They've been very separated. I think in the future what you'll see is our customers and providers like EXFO bringing those technologies together into a very optimized service chain and making that function really integrated in with the service function itself, so that it really optimizes the service and the way that the service is being provided all at the same time.
Yeah. Well, it does seem like it's becoming more important to really have a platform that really does go across a carrier's offerings, because again, 20 years ago, carriers were maybe focused on one segment, whether it was wireless or wireline or cable. It does seem like nowadays that these companies, the Comcast of the world and Verizon's, they're offering so many variety of services that it really is important. It seems to have a service assurance platform that can really look into and kind of handle the breadth of their offerings. Because if a customer has a bad cable television experience, for instance, that might impact their decision to stick with that company's wireless service or the wireline service. I mean, it seems like these things are becoming so important now across the breadth of an offering. It's a bigger challenge.
Absolutely. Customers use all of these services, and they're connected to all of them. And customer experience, that's not a new topic these days. People have been talking about that for a while now, and it's still a very important topic. You have to deal with customers holistically. Which has been a big challenge and still not completely solved, I think, in the industry today. So I think that when you bring in that customer experience aspect of service assurance, that there's still a lot of evolution going on there, and how to really provide a holistic approach to customer experience and everything that goes into that in an efficient manner. Because we used to just deploy different service assurance systems and technologies in stovepipes all over the place for different applications, and that's just really not scalable. So you're going to see a lot of pressure in that area.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously, and you guys have been around for quite a while too. I mean, is there any, I guess, any pressure when it comes to also supporting legacy systems out there? Because again, carriers still are offering their circuit switch voice services. There's still 2G and 3G networks out there, along with this move to all IP. Is that a bit of a challenge, I guess, handling the fact that you do have to kind of support perhaps legacy systems and all as well as all IP? I mean, what's the, I guess, the challenge or the dynamic there?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just as much of a challenge for us as it is for our customers, where they want to be able to get onto new technologies like VoLTE quickly so they can decommission the rest of their network. But that never happens as quickly as they want it to, and it never happens as quickly as we want it to either. So of course we have to deal with those things. One of the advantages that we have at EXFO Service Assurance is our Genesis was really in the IP space,
Hmm.
15 years ago. So, that was a very emerging market at that point in time, and we really latched onto that. So for us, all of our experience, all of our expertise is really in the IP space. So we may not have as much baggage as some of our competitors, which is a nice to have.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a nice benefit to not have to worry about, yeah, some of those legacy systems on there. So that
Sure.
makes sense. Makes sense. Well, great. Well, hey, Russell, we definitely appreciate the insight today on the topic. Obviously, it's an important topic for the industry and one that's definitely gaining a lot of momentum. Hopefully, we can touch base again on this, and as this evolves, I'm sure we can get some more information from Expo on it as well. But we definitely appreciate the time and information today.
Thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate you having me. And for our customers that want to check out Extract, there's a free trial on our website. You can go to expo.com/extract.
There you go. Perfect.